Morning, guys. It's been a while since I've done a video, and I'm going to try a little different approach this time. I'm actually going to revert back to some of my journalism skills I learned in college, and I wrote down, and I'm going to try to maintain like an actual direction versus just kind of rant and raving like I usually do. Even though the rants usually lead to like good points and other types of information that like come out of my head, I'm going to try it this time. Do a little bit more organized, if you would. So anyway, I wanted to talk about the mandate that's coming up, some of the shit that I've been reading, some of the crazy stuff that I've been reading, and it just blows my mind. I mean, we're poised to, like, a lot of people are fixing to lose their jobs. A lot of cops are fixing to walk off the job. And that's another topic I wanted to touch on, is like, what the fuck is up with Texas? Like, carjackings, home invasions, drive-by shootings. Like, it's just, Houston's going nuts. Anyway, the mandate is kind of freaking me out, just simply because to me, it's an overstepping of the government's business, whether I fucking put something in my body or not. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm not anti-vax. I never have been anti-vax. And they've narrowed it down, and like through media and through wordplay, doublespeak, if you would, have made it so if you're against this jab, and don't call it a fucking vaccine, because it's not a vaccine. Anybody with half a brain already knows that a month ago they changed the definition. The CDC changed the definition of what vaccine means because to fit with this narrative. I mean, there's just too many funky things going on within the depths of the government to make me trust anything at all happening right now with the government. Much less the fucking jab. Like, why are you so insistent on putting that in me? Like, why? How come there's not other things taken into consideration? I mean, I'm reading about people trying to put up religious exemptions, people trying to say, look, I've already had COVID, I've got antibodies already, I don't need that jab to give me weird antibodies, why is none of this being taken into consideration? Why is something that only affects less than fucking 2% of the population, it's like less than that, being taken to the point where it's got like fucking smallpox or Ebola fucking got loose in the world? And you know what? If there was some fucking, if this thing like killed 30 or 40% of the people it infected, and they came up with a fucking real vaccine, or even a fucking jab that was like, dude, this will keep you from fucking dying, or a higher chance, and like, it was like a serious issue, then you know what? I might reconsider getting a jab of something. But as it stands, this thing ain't fucking much worse than the goddamn cold. It's not worse than the flu, and I know the numbers, people dying, I don't give a fuck about all that. In reality of it, sure, a bunch of people have died. It's more deadly than the flu, I'll admit, because a lot of people have died from the flu, and quite a few more have died. But if you take the global numbers of the fucking population, which for some reason, I see people like on these liberal CNN and CSNBC and all these other sites talking about this, and like they just don't seem to understand that it's less than 1% of the globe has been infected and died from this, and it's starting to wane. But the more you fucking put that jab in the people, the easier chances virus has to get around it. I mean, it's common sense, man. We've built up an immunity to it. Boom, like that. Human beings that started developing antibodies in less than a year. We're adapting. We don't need the jab. And that should be all right. And now they went from trying to scare you, oh my God, you're going to die from COVID, to trying to reward you. If you get the jab, you get $100. To trying to convince you through icons of sports people and fucking movie stars about getting the jab, to the point where they forced people to get the jab or fucking lose their jobs, man. Like, what the fuck? Like, you don't see the fucking similarities in this? Like, Germany just announced that they have given the rights to all the businesses to refuse unvaccinated people, even if the grocery stores. Like, I mean, Germany, like, didn't they already do this once? And we're following in suit. The reason they're doing this again is because we're not there to kick their fucking ass. All right? Like, seriously, like, last time fucking fascism reared its ugly head in this country on a large scale, very similar to what's happening now, in my opinion, was Nazi Germany. And what happened? They mandated shit. The next thing you know, Jews were in the ghettos, people were getting killed, and Hitler rose to power. All kinds of crazy shit happened. The world fucking went ham. And then, what? World War II happened. And it just got, dude, we're on the same path right now. Like, except we're the fascists now. Like, you're telling me that almost 100 million Americans who are going to lose their jobs, including federal government, military, police, EMT, fire, I mean, the list goes on and on and on and on and on, risking those people's livelihood, their family, eating, living, having a place to fucking go. Man, I've been out there on the streets. I'm still kind of on the street. I mean, I own a property, yes. You know, you guys have already seen my videos for that. But that doesn't mean that I'm not, like, considered homeless still. I don't have a house built on the motherfucker yet, and I couldn't because of the cost of lumber this fucking year, thanks to the Biden fucking administration. But they're taking the sanctuary, the home, the job, the structure of the American family, and they're putting it at risk for something that just doesn't really justify that fucking risk, man. And then they've got us divided, unvaxxed and vaxxed. Like, all the steps towards, like, a genocide are coming into play. Like, I would not be at all surprised if all of a sudden the government was like, hey, we're going to round up all the unvaxxed and put them in fucking cars. And it's your duty as vaccinated people to report these people so we can send them to these camps for forced vaccinations. And I bet you half of this fucking country would fucking jump on that bandwagon and pick up the phone, man. We have become a nation of... Dude, we're falling apart. This is unsustainable. We've become a nation of just backstabbing fucking pussies. We don't work together. And don't get me wrong, it's not like our faults. It really isn't. It is and it's not. When you've been fed a narrative and you have these fucking things nonstop, and you're just always being exposed to what's going on, it's easy to fucking convince people to do and act a certain way. It's just, I mean, there's lots of studies been done on this. I don't want to, like, try to go into it and look it up and shit like that, but I mean, you guys are welcome to. You know, I mean, we all know about that study they did in college. They did a movie about it. They did it, I want to say it was in Connecticut or something. They took roles and they picked random students to be prisoners and they picked random students to be guards. They built a mock-up of a prison, and for 30 days, they actually had to act like guard and prisoner, and, you know, they were compensated for it. By the end of the 30 days, the guards were sadistic to the prisoners. I mean, not all of them, but most of them. And the prisoners were literally, like, I mean, there was literal, like, they had immersed themselves into this so much, they were convinced so much that they were a prisoner and guard that they actually took the roles on. You know, does that make sense? Like, they had it put in, they were living it so intensely that they started believing what they were told to do. You know, like these people, these college students that were not guards, that were not prison guards, and these college students that were not prisoners were put into these roles and then told this, and then by the end of the 30 days, they literally became what they were representing. You know, the idea, it's weird, man. It's fucking weird. So, like, you know, taking that into consideration, it's real easy. Like, I'm both on the conservative side, too, you know, and the right-wing side, if you want to call it right-wing and left-wing, which, you know, I hate those fucking words. It's evident there, too. I mean, I know people that would drop on their knees and suck Donald Trump's dick if he whipped it out. You know what I'm saying? Like, perfectly fucking straight men who would drop on their knees and gobble Donald Trump's cock. But I also know, unfortunately, and they're like the same way, I know a bunch of Democrats that would bend over and let Joe Biden fuck him up the ass, too, if fucking he wanted him to. You know, like, I mean, they would be like, oh my God, the presidential cock. you know? Like, so, I mean, we know that people are very susceptible to the, sorry, I have to keep checking the time. I'm opening the store here soon. Very susceptible to, like, suggestion, you know? And when you, like, are perpetuately put into a narrative or a reality that is basically controlled through these phones, then people become what it is. And also it's like, you know, and I'm a big news person. I watch global news. I try to avoid like any kind of US news. Just because, I mean, I do watch Fox just like anybody else that's kind of like right wing or conservative. And the reason I do like Fox News, which the liberals hate it, and they always tell you quit watching Fox News, is when they bring something up 99% of the time, if it's not believable, they actually follow it with a video or an audio clip. You know what I mean? Like, versus all I hear from CNN and CSNBC are these anchors sitting there still bashing Trump. Like, I mean, dude, that's what I don't get. That's what I don't understand is, like, how the fuck does Trump have any fucking thing to do with any fucking thing that's happening now? And the answer is he doesn't. He doesn't. Like, but this liberal fucking movement still uses him as a metaphor for hatred and what's going on, what's wrong with the country. Like, he's poisoned all our brains into being American, you know, and God forbid you're a gun-toting, church-going American man or woman, and forget it if you're fucking white, you know. Which, anyway, all right, I'm going to go down to what I was talking about. Texas, like, I mean, it's just, along with Seattle and Chicago and a bunch of other places around the nation right now, they're fixing to lose a lot of cops. It's about to get fucking ugly in these cities, okay? Like, man, it's going to be like the Purge, dude. Maybe not as intense, but, man, when there's no cops on the street, all those fucking drug addicts, thugs, criminals, killers, rapists, murderers, they're going to be on the prowl. Trust me. When they know that a cop is 35, 40 minutes away, if he even shows up, dude, he's going to take that pussy. He's going to take your house. He's going to take your car. And you know what? All of you idiots in those liberal cities, like, not that I fucking condone that kind of behavior to human beings, because obviously I don't, but I mean, you guys just asked for it. Like, Oregon used to be a fucking pretty awesome state, man. They had the right to bear arms. They didn't have any goofy gun laws. You know, like, they fucking put people in prison for stupid shit. All of a sudden, it just went liberal. Now look at it. It's a fucking shithole. I mean, it's such a shithole that, and reverse theory, backwards fucking dumbass CRT shit. Math is apparently racist now. So is reading. So is writing. So they've scrapped those core requirements in Oregon for the students because it's racist that little inner city black kids who are more interested in selling crack. And yeah, you can call me whatever the fuck you want, dude. It's truth. Not every single fucking one out there is that way. Not every black person's out there. I know a whole shit ton of black people that don't come from that kind of shit. They came from that kind of shit, but they didn't participate. They escaped. You know, they had sense. They had common sense. But if you ever been to any city school, you know the fucking drill. Who was the loudest, most obnoxious, most disruptive group of people in the fucking school? Thank you. Anyway, back to what I was saying. So some little inner city thug kid from inner city Portland or one of the other little shithole cities there, he's more interested in gangbanging and thugging than he is learning at school. But if he doesn't go to school, then the cops are going to come to his mama's house. And so mama says, you better go ass to school. And so he goes to school and he doesn't want to be there. So he acts a fool. He bullies people. He fucks shit up. He generally is disruptive. He doesn't care about his education. So you're telling me because that little fucking thug ass little motherfucker don't want to learn, don't care about learning because all he wants to do is go be a G, that the rest of the black kids and brown kids and white kids and native kids in those schools don't deserve to learn how to read and write? You know? And don't get me wrong, I know it's in the trailer park too, man. These fucking damn Whiskey Tango fucking trailer park fucking kids doing dope and fucking not. It's the same fucking thing. It's not just black people. But what they're doing is they're centering it on that race. They're trying to say, oh, it is the poor black people that can't do this, the poor brown-skinned people. It's not just that, it's everything. And by scrapping those core education, all you're going to do is promote ignorance. And ignorance, like, can't get jobs. And when ignorance can't get jobs, they start stealing. Anyway, where we stand as a nation is not good. I'm going to wrap this up here. Where we stand as a nation is not good. We got, like, Christmas coming up, and we got the Biden administration. Like, he's the fucking Grinch saying, you may not have Christmas, and it's not my fault. It's da-da-da-da-da. It's all Trump. Da-da-da-da-da. You know, well, I don't even know how to address half of the shit that's happening. It's so much beyond my scope of thinking at this point. Like, all I know is that it is not good. And anybody out there with a half a brain knows that this is unsustainable. I talked about it earlier this year in a couple of my videos about how I think that by the end of this year, we're probably going to be in some sort of revolution. Probably going to end up having some sort of midwinter crises, dark winter, like when we were talking about dark winter, that kind of thing. And I mean, if you look at what's going on, it's fucking locking in place, guys. Locking in fucking place. They got the FBI investigating parents now if you don't believe in the CRT curriculum. And it doesn't matter if you're black or white. Because I've seen plenty of videos of black mothers and fathers standing up and saying, this is fucking bullshit. This is racism. This is the roots of racism. Have being a person who has been, you know, affected by racism my whole life, being black, this is how it fucking starts. And that's what I don't understand is, how do you not understand by convincing a singular race that they are inherently bad from birth because of the color of their skin, and how they have to realize that they have this privilege because of the color of their skin, yet they are, the fuck is my dog doing? Oh, yet they are like born bad, like that. I mean, that's and it's not just. And you got to think about all the other kids who aren't white now are suddenly going, oh, well, that means I'm better than he is because he's born bad. He's born privileged. He's born this, so he's got all this shit. So that means he's bad. The CRT is teaching kids this shit. I'm like, and like now the FBI and DOJ is going to investigate investigate parents who disagree with this. I mean, who the fuck wouldn't disagree with this? I mean, if you agree with this, dude, you got some serious fucking issues, man. You are just totally fucking liberally brainwashed. Like, I don't even know how you could think like that. Literally, the scope of that kind of thinking, racism in general, is beyond me. But now I see, I've always wondered how can this happen? How can a group of human beings be judged so harshly for the color of their skin? Like, seriously, how does it start? How does one day someone stands up and says, hey, look at me, I'm white, or hey, look at me, I'm red, or hey, look at me, I'm black. That person over there is a bad group of people because they have white skin, or black skin, or red skin, or yellow skin. You get my fucking drift. Like, I never understood how that could happen. Like, just one day, most of the earth just agreed, hey, we're going to pick on the blacks today. Hey, we're going to pick on them, on them yellow Chinese. Hey, and then suddenly it's like, hey, you know, we're going to shift and pick on the Anglo-Americans. We're going to pick on the Europeans, the white people now. Like, I guess now I see how it starts. Like, I mean, how the fuck? I always wondered, like, how does the base concept of racism start? I know it's through ignorance, and I know it's through, you know, like families and shit like that pass that shit down, that pass that hatred down. It's hard to grow up with a parent who hates a certain group and not, like, attuned to that. Again, it's kind of like the whole prison guard construct, you know? Like, that child becomes what their parents, or you know, whatever it happens to be, the curriculum, you know, circulating in that household, that child becomes part of it. Like, you know, you got fully Christian parents, fully devout, they go to church every Wednesday and Thursday. Their kids are probably going to be the same. Not in all cases, but most cases. Same with Muslim and Christian and freaking hippies. And I mean, it just, that's, you know, if we really think about the base construct, the parents emulate, or the child emulates what the parents do. So now we have the parents really pushing this insane thing. And we have a lot of parents, most parents, I mean, most of the country doesn't agree with this, you know? I mean, I know that, you know, we're at like 51% of the vaccinated country is vaccinated. And I know probably a good 20% of those people, 25%, maybe less, I don't know. I'm just trying to be benefit of the doubt. They only got the jab because like they were worried about their family. Like, fuck it, dude, give it to me. I want to work. The rest of us that don't want to get the jab, I think what we're doing is we're trying to make a statement that we're not going to accept, you threatening our livelihoods. We'd rather watch our country fall and start over again, and so we can get rid of you people, than have you sit there and put mandates on us that are unconstitutional. And then you talk about half of the liberals out there, they're like, get the jab, get the jab, get the jab. And then I'm like, well, then don't get an abortion. And they're actually, that's not the same. And I'm like, dude, it's exactly the fucking same. Okay, it is exactly the fucking same. Your body, your fucking choice, dude. Same with me. My body, my choice. You don't want to get an abortion? I don't want to get the fucking jab. What's the fucking difference? It's a choice that we have. And then they argue, well, Texas. Well, Texas. Well, what about fucking Texas? Don't move to Texas. If you don't like the laws that they have over there, and it is Christian based, and I disagree with bringing religious theories into law because it does this kind of shit. Get an abortion, but keep a record of it. There's a point where we got to start not letting people have these extenuating circumstances and certain things to where it ruins it for everybody else. If you got a woman that comes in 5 times a year and gets a fucking fetus sucked out of her, then something's fucking wrong with her. You know what I'm saying? Especially if she's a drug addict. Same concept. I'm not a woman. All right. I can't get pregnant. All right. I don't have any kids. And, the only woman I've gotten pregnant, she had a miscarriage. So I'm not worried about it. So I really have no dog in this fight. Except for the fact that if you're going to be out there screaming about fucking your body, your choice in regards to Roe versus Wade and all that other shit, then you have to stand behind my body, my choice for fucking the jab, dude. If you don't, you're just fucking hypocritical. Anyway, I got to get my book's done. I've got about 30 minutes, 20 minutes before I open. If you guys like my shit, which, again, I kind of ranted and raved. I'm passionate, man. I love all you guys out there. You guys know I do. Stay safe out there. Really, man, it's like what I was saying earlier this year about society falling down. It's all coming into play. Stay safe out there. I'm not saying go and hoard and shit like that, although it's probably not a bad idea to start fucking putting some food away. You've seen the shelves. You've seen how it's supposed to get worse. And then winter's coming too, guys. So, a lot of households, I guess, this winter are going to be without heat, food, that creates for a dangerous situation because cold, hungry human beings become animals. And we've seen this before in history. You can look at any undeveloped third world nation who has starvation issues and see what goes on in those kind of places. It's ugly. And the United States of America suddenly losing everything, dark winter. Whew. Stay safe out there. Arm yourselves up. Keep the faith. Love your country, love your flag, love your people. Don't at all love this government. This government is not a legitimate government. They are a socialist government. I firmly believe they're Chinese agents. I believe they've been bought and sold by China. And I believe that what they are doing is the very destruction of our country from within to allow China to take over American interests as well as take over this country. I did kind of go into my little thing here. Gotta say, I was going to turn it off. I did go into my little thing. I will in a second. I think what's going on is China's bought Joe Biden and the Biden administration out. And all the cronies who are cronies of the Biden administration have all been bought out as well. They've been sold out, whether money from them or money from China directly, I don't know. I think what China's going to do is it wants Afghanistan. It wants those minerals in Afghanistan, which there's a lot of minerals. And it'd be a lot easier for China to be able to harvest minerals in Afghanistan than it would be the United States of America. However, they have a problem with the Muslims. You and I both know Chinese hate Muslims. The Chinese Communist Party does not like religion, period. If you are not worshiping the CCP, then you are indeed a threat. So they're not going to want all these Muslims running around in Afghanistan, correct? And they're going to, because there'll be bombings and stuff. So what better opportunity to take a country than to offer them our country as a prize? Think about it. We've already started bringing them here. We got our borders open. It's invaded. They're going to say, hey, go to America. We'll give it to you. And when our government collapses and our people are fucking running around, China's going to be bringing in plenty of fucking Muslims, plenty of their own people too. Like, we are in for it, guys. Anyway, if you guys like my crazy rants and raves, hit that subscribe button, give me a like. If not, well, I really don't give a shit what you feel. Then you must be a liberal idiot. Maybe not. I mean, don't get me wrong. We're all entitled to our opinions and our thoughts. And I think a lot of the stuff that like the Republicans do is kind of stupid too. Like, I firmly believe in climate change. I firmly believe that. I've seen it with my own two eyes. I don't want to argue about it. You know, I mean, I've been around the country. I've been around the world quite a bit. And since I was a kid, and I've watched things happen. I've watched, you know, the climate shift, and, you know, oh, it always does that. It's on that. Yeah, but like, it always does that. Yes, I fully acknowledge that it always does that. But like, in all reality, the speed at which it's doing it now, in my lifetime, I'm 44, and I've watched entire glaciers disappear. I've watched storms get crazier. I've watched them get more. I've watched the temperatures of the oceans go up. I've watched oceans rising, like, in my lifetime. Like, I've seen this. Places that I've used to go as a child are now underwater. So, I mean, we can't argue with that. We do have to do something about it. But the Green New Deal and trying to shunt off of fossil fuels like that is not smart. And that's what this is. They're trying to collapse the fuel industry, the automotive industry, the trucking industry. They're trying to collapse the fuel industry so they can take it over federally with their electric vehicles and their big bill, and then try to reboot the country into running all on electric stuff. And that's the thing, is all that electric stuff, our new infrastructure grid, it's all going to be provided by China. Anyway, love you guys out there. Take care of yourselves. Love each other. And remember, man, Americans, we're all the same. We all bleed underneath. We all have mamas and daddies. You know, we all love our country. And if you don't, well, you know, get the fuck out. If you don't love your country and love your people, then you got to go. If you're a sociopath, stand up for yourself, people. Stand up for yourself. Don't be a victim. Quit being victims. If you live in a state where they promote victimhood, like California, Oregon, or Washington, get the fuck out of there. Go to a place like Arizona, Florida, Georgia, Texas. Texas sucks. Just don't move to Houston, I guess. Or Austin. Austin? Yeah, Austin's the liberal city. Like, Texas is trying to cut it out like a cancer. You know, move to one of those places where you could stand your ground, where you could stand up against fucking thugs and thieves and people trying to steal your hard-earned shit, your livelihood. Stand up for yourselves, people. Stand up for your neighbors. And most of all, check 6, guys. I wish you guys the best of luck. I'll do another video here in a few more weeks. I got about 2 more weeks here left, and then I'm heading west and back to Hawaii and stuff. Definitely going to get some video of that and some awesome stuff. Anyways, I love you guys. Take care, and be well.